This episode is brought to you by Novilla Mattresses. When it comes to your mother, you want her sleeping in a comfortable bed. When she's with me, she won't have to worry about that because I sleep on a Novilla mattress. Let me tell you, when your mom is at my place, she is sleeping on a very comfortable mattress and she is going to get you one as well. Meet their Bliss Organic Memory Foam Mattress. Perfect for those who want a cool, dry, undisturbed sleep throughout the night, made with organic bamboo charcoal fiber, excellent motion isolation, cooling gel-infused memory foam that fits all bed frames and is reasonably priced. Perfect for if you want an inexpensive mattress for you, your children, or even for your guest room. It comes in a box delivered right to your door, and you get 100 nights to try it out. Skip that trip to the big box mattress store and get a mattress from Novilla. Throw out that cheap Walmart mattress you got in college and get yourself a mattress made by Novilla. Using promo code Schweezy or the link in our description, you can save 10% on any purchase through Novilla directly. Try out the mattress that your mom tried out last night. Again, that's 10% off using promo code Schweezy. And a reminder, when you use our links, you directly support this show. Hello, and what is going on, my fellow Schwoke Lords? What is up? Welcome to another episode of Cancel Schweezy. Cancel Schweezy, the Lord's trademark favorite podcast. What's going on, everyone? How are y'all doing today? Has it been a good day for you? Has it been a bad day for you? That also depends on when you're actually listening to this podcast, because you can this podcast, once it's out, you can listen to everything at any time of the day. There's no limits to what this is. There's no limits to what Cancel Schweezy is.
What?
So, welcome to the show. Oh no, it's been good. I don't know. Am I feeling like talking quieter today or louder? I'll just talk how I am. I'll just be myself. Express yourself. It was a weird weekend, dudes. I think it started off, I played a show. It's just the local bar. It's like a 10-minute drive in the middle of the country. Not that bad, going there, though, there was such a fucking huge-ass fucking... It wasn't a blizzard, but it's just, it was pouring, snowing down hard. I'd say, if you want to... If you're looking at the screen right now, if you're watching the show, it's the gap in my eyes. And I do not have fecal alcohol syndrome. That's the nice thing about knowing your parents were those sober Christians who thought alcohol was sinning. It's just that my eyes aren't that far apart, I don't have fetal alcohol syndrome. But no, big snow. Big snow. It was just pouring down. So it was we tried to get there at 6. It was basically 6 to midnight, or maybe a little before 11 or whatever. It was just snowing the whole time. And while we're driving there and getting set up, we were behind a car going 20 miles an hour on a 60, which probably didn't need to go to 60, but I feel like it was safe. We could all go 40 if we don't get super close to each other. That's the thing. So we made it there, and we're we already set a deal for the money or whatever. So we're if we're not gonna get, if no one's here, then we still get paid the same amount. But we also can make money on tips too, so it's kind of nice there. For the most part, but apparently they had a decent crowd, which is funny. It was bigger than the crowd, I think, for a New Year's gig I had, which is amazing. If your bar is good, people will come. That's a life. That's a fucking life lesson out there, dude. Stuff like that, Oh, dude, it's just it's that moment you're man, we're just going to be playing for no one, and then, nope, still a good crowd. Good crowd came out that night, so I'm feeling good. Anyways, welcome to Kansas City. I think that was my weekend. What did I do yesterday? Yesterday we didn't do anything either. I just I watched TV all day. Watched about, what was it, the Pray the Gay Away campaign documentary I saw on Netflix. It was really funny. They just went through it, and they're these guys are there's a group of guys on there, and they're clearly, these are all clearly gay men. And they're just clearly gay men. And they're we chose to leave the LGBTQ lifestyle because of Jesus. and it was by a man who was formerly trans as a trans woman, like currently is identifying as a man, but like was a trans woman. So, but he, those are the pronouns he's going by, is all board, ready to go full throttle.
Let's go full throttle.
On, going back and being like, I don't like being LGBTQ, and they talk about conversion therapy, which was not good, and they're like, all right, well, there clearly was sexual abuse in your life. That's why you're gay. It's like, no, okay, you don't have a good relationship with your father. No, we have a great relationship. Maybe you don't remember getting molested. That's always the one. Maybe you just don't remember, which is true. That's why, like, when some people get into traumatic events or whatever, they are smart enough to be like, yeah, trying to remember what my thought was. I just like totally lost my train of thought. Anyways, though, we're not. We'll just move on, because someone's gonna be like, someone's like, you got me all riled up, and now you're nothing. I'm like, I'm sorry, folks. For the most part,
this is the type of guy you get.
So, just be humble with that. But yep, because you're listening to Cancel Schweezy. The only podcast that'll be the podcast that will fall for you over again. Don't make me change my mind. Back in the day, Marvel did not need post-credit scenes for people to stick around for the credits. Back in the day, what Marvel did was put Dashboard Confessional at the end of Spider-Man 2, and we were all just stuck around because we wanted to listen to Vindicated by Dashboard Confessional. That's how you get people to stay for the credits, folks. That is how you do that. And Marvel, you should have put Hero by Nickelback at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. Just saying. All right. Anyways, that was a fucking rant. I play in the band Stonehouse. We released a single over a month ago, American Honey, available wherever you stream the music app. You can also find music that I make under Schweezy. It's like Cancel Schweezy, you just take out the cancel part, and it's Schweezy. That's the music part. If you want to cancel me, you listen to me talk for an hour and a half. But if that's not the case, you go far from there. So make sure you go check that out. That's wherever you stream music. Follow me on all the social medias at TheSchweezy. I try to make sure they're all the same across all of them. I went Linkin Park. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. You can also go see me play video games on Twitch. I need to do a Fall Guys Fortnite night because I see people complaining that I don't play those. Some people like to join. So I might be joining Fall Guys. I have to get back into that game. So make sure twitch.tv/TheSchweezy. If you have an Amazon Prime account, make sure that you are subscribing to Schweezy over on Twitch. To follow anyone on Twitch, so that's basically, you have an account, follow someone, let them know that. That's free. Anyone can do that. That's all free. Just have to have your Twitch account. But if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can connect it to your Twitch account, meaning you can subscribe to someone once a month. That's one subscriber, whatever, typically around $5. So basically, by using that and making sure you're using it for me, or even for anyone else, but mainly me, that you financially support the show. Like you can over on Patreon. That is also a place where you can financially support us. It's basically just a giant tip jar right now. I think that's the best we can do. We just keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid kiss. But make sure especially if you're on the audio platform, make sure you go check out our YouTube page, and make sure the YouTube page can also help you satisfy all your Cancel Schweezy stuff, because we do post highlights over on the show. So even if you just want to listen to the full episode audio, you can also just go ahead and go out towards the go for the video too, to share highlights or whatever with your friends, or rewatch it, or re-enjoy, or rethink something in your life. That's always so good. Make sure you're subscribing over on YouTube and leaving our comments and likes on all the videos, highlights, and more. So that's the great way to let your world know that we are better than everyone else.
I like that.
That's for sure. And if you're obviously on the audio platform, give us a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 star rating and leave us a review as well. We don't even care if the review's bad. We just want your reviews. We want big reviews. We want big reviews. We're big people. We're adults. We want big views. Anyways, though, that is my time to say that it is time to move on to previous week right now. What is previous week right now, you may be asking? Well, I'm telling you here, previous week right now is all the news from the previous week that you've been wanting to know specifically. When do you specifically want to know about it? You specifically want to know about it right now. So, anyways, though, as our friend and never met in history before friend, Phil DeFranco.
Let's just jump into it.
So, we're going to jump into the news of the previous week, and then we're going to talk about it. So,
I identify as a fucking threat.
this is from TMZ, one of those special news sources. TMZ, I just want to say... okay, so, no, this is from TMZ. Carole Baskin's first husband still missing despite resurfaced interview. The feds finding Carole Baskin's first husband alive is all the buzz on the internet, but that won't be to local authorities who tell TMZ they haven't heard from the feds and still consider Don Lewis missing. Here's the deal. Twitter users started chirping Wednesday when a lot of them discovered, for the first time apparently, a 2021 interview with Carole about the alleged report the Deputy of Homeland Security found Lewis living in Costa Rica. The purported DHS report came to light during the second season of Tiger King. It's also worth noting, as a legal matter, Don's been presumed dead since 2002, and of course Joe Exotic sees it that way too. Joe's attorney, John Phillips, says the TK2, Tiger King 2 doc, and Carole's ITV interview don't make a difference in their minds about her alleged involvement in DL's disappearance, adding the docs was floated as having veracity when it doesn't at all. He also insists Joe will be vindicated in due time. As for Carole, she reiterates that she told us back in 2021, which is that she does not know if the alleged DHS doc TK2 producer showed her is real. She's always maintained she had nothing to do with his disappearance or possible death. We've reached out to DHS for comment. So far, no word back yet, TMZ. You're the ones who, like, obviously are asking. You're like, you know, TMZ has that mindset that I have, and it's just like, you know, they're gonna say no. Like, 99.999%, they're gonna say no. But we can't live with ourselves, TMZ. We cannot live with ourselves unless we do, at least if we didn't even ask, you know, because if maybe we ask and good will come out of it. There's a possibility. TMZ's just like, can we get those reports? No, that'd be against the law. It's like, okay, we're gonna report that. We could not get a hold of them. Okay, shut the fuck up, TMZ. But no, this is news. We've been keeping up with Carole Baskin after literally everyone on the planet, except for like a couple people, are still even following the Tiger King stuff, because I think this shit is interesting. It's trash. It's just trashy enough for me to get into it, and so I'm going to follow all these careers to the bitter end. Doc Antle, he's in prison. Not for women. It's all animal related. For some reason, none of the women crimes helping, so let's all let that sink in. But now we're, back to Carole Baskin, because there were real hints that Don Lewis is alive, but it's just, I don't know. That shit's just weird. I feel like we're at a point in society where I think it's been 20 years since Don Lewis disappeared. I'm just saying, I'm saying here in the most part, I think if he faked it, he did a really good job. So I think it's important, if he is alive, for him to resurface into the world, because we just need to know if Carole Baskin murdered someone, and then all of us would have to be like, wow, Shirley was the good one, and Joe Exotic was out of his fucking mind. I feel like that's all we want to know, TMZ. And TMZ's nuts in my mouth.
Got him!
Oh. Anyways, though, Tiger King stuff. Is it even interesting anymore? Is anyone actually even still interested in, like, the Tiger King information that goes on? It's just like, just like it was so popular, and like I was like, you know, people were talking about like, you know, like trying to interview smart people and be like, what do you see with her actions? Well, a lot of it seems to be manipulated by the camera, so like we couldn't be. So there's a possibility that we're never going to be able to get a real close read on her. I'm like, what do you personally think? Oh, she did that shit. That's 100%. Like, oh, she did that shit. No, you know, and I honestly, I would love the whole Don Lewis case. Like, if he is alive out there in Costa Rica, I do have family in Costa Rica. Do not stay with them. I like them. I'm not trying to ruin that relationship. But Don, could you just like I'm alive, and we're all just gonna be Biden. Everyone get this to Biden. Everybody get this to Joe Biden. But if Don Lewis really is alive, Don Lewis being, for those who want to know, is Carol Baskin's husband that she allegedly killed or did not kill. But we need Joe Biden to be like, any crimes he did. I did know he had some sexual assault stuff, but if it's about getting back into the United States. Or any, I don't know, we can just get those countries to mean that they'll give any pardon to any crimes or whatever. The sex-related ones, we'll let those. He can get arrested for that, but we still want him to come out or whatever, to let us know he's so alive that Carol didn't actually kill him, because I think that's a big part of her personality. Is like, she fucking killed a guy. That's like the big part of her personality, and that's closure, I think, America. I think that's, and then after that, they'll be like, every single COVID case, because it was at the beginning of COVID, every single COVID case has been cured. It is no longer even on this planet. Like, there's no way you could possibly get COVID unless someone jizzed in a cup and the jizz has COVID on it. That's the only answer. So, anyways, though, that's news I hope you like. This is from My State Line. I think we've done articles by them before, but that's just the name of the website. Study says men with small penises desire fast cars.
Feel like a woman, a real woman.
According to a new study, men who are convinced their penises are smaller than average have a higher desire for fast cars. The University College London released the study entitled Small Penises and Fast Cars, Evidence for Psychological Link, in which researchers told some subjects that the average penis size was 7 inches and others that it was 4 inches. The actual average is 5 inches, according to the report. The test subjects then used a slider to determine how much they wanted fast cars. According to GM Authority, the subjects were also presented with other luxury goods and statistics to conceal the true nature of the study. According to this study, younger men under 29 of age showed little linkage between penis size and the desire for fast cars, but in the 30 and older group, men who thought they had a relatively small penis rated the sports car higher even into old age. The study found that in that group, those who were convinced they were unusually well endowed became less interested in sports cars. The researchers added that further experiments would be necessary to see if perception of wealth and intelligence also contributed to the need for speed among men, but suggested that perhaps there is just something specific linking cars and penises in the male psyche. You know what makes me happy in life is that just the comfort that I've had in my life, that I've been with women. I know some people are shocked right now. They're like, what? You've been with a woman? And you're like, if you thought this was like some Jordan Peterson type shit, you're out of your goddamn mind. We're going to talk about, what are we talking about later? Cum's going to come up at some point. Cum usually comes up in every episode. So, you're out of here. But I've been with a woman. I think that's the long trip it's been saying I've been with a woman. And the nice thing about them is that when they're angry and fighting with you and are trying to make fun of you, hopefully you're not the kind of guy who wants that in a relationship. But this is usually after the fact. Never brought up my dick size, and I know I'm not packing, so I'm just comfortable. That's why I'm just so cool. That's why I'm fucking built different. is because I know that my dick size is just fine, according to all the women I've been with. And worst case scenario, I don't know. I'm not mad at any exes right now. I think all I would say is if something bad happens, I'm like, all right, sounds right. But anyways, yeah, I've never been that guy, so I can't fit in with you small dick people. I cannot fit in with you. I think you probably know what the problem is. So so they're doing fast cars, and they're saying this is in the UK. We need someone, one of you people I know, we have smart people for some reason, smart people listen to this show. We need you to help us out in here and get this study done in the Midwest. I think the Midwest is perfect because a lot of trucks, a lot of rednecks, but they're also a little bit smarter up north, if you know what I'm saying. Not full north, but like kind of north. Like you went north and you're like, and I give up. We're just gonna settle for this. We're gonna settle for Missouri. Because we need to see. I want to see big lifted trucks and Jeeps, big ass lifted trucks. I have to know how this study works it out with that. They also need to be like, do you honk your horn the loudest under pedestrian bridges and at Sonic? And they'd be like, yeah. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. And how old are you? Kind of have a micro penis. I'm like, oh, that. Keep honking away, brother. You're cool as hell. You know, like, what am I really trying to say? Like, is this new? Is like the whole this winter under 4 inches? Under 4 inches? Here's one thing though. If you're fat and you say it's 4 inches, you need to lose weight, okay? If you're like, my dick's small, my dick's under 3 inches, and you're like, are you fat? Yeah, like lose some weight. It's gonna look better if you lose weight. That doesn't go away with losing weight. It goes from your gut right back down to your dick, brother. The average is 5. I'm like, and honestly though, it's like 5 to 7. I feel like you should be fine. You know, it's like, and to be honest with you, fellas, some of the women will agree with this. They're all different. Besides their minds, they all share a hive mind. But the fact that some women don't like penetration, and meaning that the bigger your dick is, the more they do not like penetration. So women they care about the man the penis is attached to. Isn't that the rule? Isn't that what you tell your daughters? Don't fall in love with the penis, fall in love with the man who is attached to the penis. Like how men are taught, don't marry boobs, marry the woman attached to the boobs. And stuff like that. I don't think I've said anything good today. Anyways, though, we're going to move on to the last article I have. This is from Southwest Duchess. Now, I know some of you were thinking,
man proposes and God disposes.
And like, I can't believe the greatest news site of all time, Southwest Duchess, has been kind enough to send you articles and write articles specifically for you to talk about on your show. And I'm here to tell you, I'm going to start reading it. Mother sneaks into Arlington High School dressed as student to watch daughter fight, police say. The mother of a high school student in the region has been arrested for allegedly sneaking into the school dressed as a student so she could watch her daughter fight with another student. The incident took place in Dutchess County at Arlington High School around 7:30 a.m. Tuesday, January 17th. Okay, this is taken. So the incident took place at 7:30 a.m. Like, that is totally like, I'm a kid. And I don't have, like, if you don't have kids and now you work a job, you're like, you know what, waking up at 8 a.m. is great or whatever, you know. But like, if you're an adult and you're like, I'm gonna get into this fight 7:30 a.m., I'm like, I'm gonna shoot myself in the fucking face. I'll let you. You know what? You win. You win the fight automatically. I'm gonna sleep in. Immediately following the altercation, it was discovered that the mother of one of the students involved in the fight was in the building without prior authorization, said Captain John Watterson of the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office. She allegedly entered the building during arrival disguised as a student, Watterson said. An investigation by the Sheriff's Office in the Arlington Center School District has resulted in the arrest of Valerie Abello, age 33, of LaGrangeville, Watterson said. Albello was arrested on Sunday, January 22nd, and has been charged with criminal trespass and endangering the welfare of a child, which are both misdemeanors. After being processed, she was released with an appearance ticket returnable to the town of LaGrange Court on Thursday, February 7th. Following the arrest, Dr. Dave Moyer, Arlington Superintendent of Schools, issued the following statement. I commend our staff and Arlington High School safety personnel who intervened immediately during the altercation and quickly identified the parent who entered the high school without approval. Moyer said the district was reviewing its procedures of student arrival and tightening security protocols at the school after the incident. We are aware of the seriousness of this parent's actions and the impact on school safety, Moyer said. Dutchess County Sheriff Kirk Parity said the school would be checking student IDs during morning arrivals and that students must have their IDs visible to gain entry to the building. High school students and staff are required to wear the Arlington IDs at all times during the school day and during after-school activities, the sheriff said. I'm thinking back to when I was in high school, and I remember it was a big deal. So, I remember I was in middle school. There were no cameras in the school. I hope there are cameras now. So there's no cameras in the school. But in the high school, there's this long ass hallway and maybe a couple of other hallways, and maybe the parking lot too. Those are the only things that were on camera. So, for the most part, if you see someone going into a classroom or whatever, they'd have to go into the roof or some bullshit like that. But anyways, so it had cameras, so it's you can't be lollygagging like that at our school, and you didn't have to. Our school didn't have metal detectors and shit like that, to get into the school. So it was pretty simple there. So yeah, and then I don't know what else I want to say about that, but yeah. So just knowing school security is just really tightened up. It says a lot about our society and how great the world we have been making has become. Because now that you can now the school, they have to check IDs to walk into the school. There gonna be fucking lines to get into school. I don't know, this might be a small school. There'd be lines to get to classes. You're I can't get. Sorry, I was late to class. What happened? There was a hold up in the ID checking line. But anyways, though, we've made America cool. We've made America's cool. When shootings happen, we decide to do nothing so that we can keep our guns. 'Cause I like to have sex with my gun every single day. I like to lube up the chamber and put my wiener in. I'm I got halfway through that song, and I was like, am I really going to go on describing how I would have sex with a gun? And I got to the thought of put the lube the throttle, and I'm okay, I have to finish the song. I have to finish up to that, but I'm not thinking about this anymore, because it's kind of gross. But honestly, there are things that are grosser. So,
Man proposes and God disposes.
Have you ever been out in public and thought, hey, look at that fat guy, only for it to turn out to be a mirror and you are in fact the fat guy? That was the moment that kickstarted me into becoming the greatest health expert the world has ever seen. But I wasn't born being built different. Like Joe Cocker before me, I get by with a little help from my friends. And my friends happen to be today's sponsor, FNX Fitness. FNX Fitness is committed to creating innovative supplements of the highest quality that provide focus for a productive morning, energy to thrive all day, performance supplements to reach new goals, unique sleep and recovery formulas to support any sport, and healthy supplements to support an active lifestyle lifestyle for years to come. I also really enjoy their clothing line that makes you look good while you work out as well. Another thing I love about FNX Fitness is that with every purchase, they donate a gallon of water to a child in need. Start working out smarter, not harder, by using the link in our description today. You can save 15% on your purchase. Go save 15% on some of the best supplements out there when using the link in our description. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show. When you're at the beach, you aren't going there naked, letting everyone see your little shrunken PP from being in the water. No, you're wearing some sort of clothing to cover up your privates. So why would you let companies you buy products from have access to the privates of your credit cards? That's where today's sponsor, Privacy, becomes the clothing for your credit card information. Privacy is the first payment product that keeps your personal information private while being even more convenient than using a physical payment card online. Privacy empowers you to protect your physical card information. Each merchant you share your card information with puts you more at risk to hackers or data breaches. Why not use a privacy card instead? By creating a virtual card with privacy for each merchant you shop with, your physical card is safe and secure. Privacy cards can be paused or closed at any time, preventing any future transactions from being authorized. Privacy cards can also be single-use, meaning they close after just one authorized transaction. One of my favorite ways to use privacy is for a service with a free trial that requires you to put in a credit card to sign up. But wait, there's more. By using the link in our description, you can get $5 to spend anywhere. That's money you get to use. So start paying the smart way with Privacy. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show.
Well, damn, Jackie, I can't control the weather.
Oh, folks, today we're going over something important to my heart. We're going over Netflix just dropped That 90s Show. And by golly, am I on time for something for once? Usually, I don't get around to seeing the cool shit for a while, but I watched that shit. I binged all 10 episodes that day. It was not that hard, folks. It was not that hard. You just get some drinks in you, do a little alcohol, and you're good to go. Yeah, no, but I grew up watching that 70s show, so and if you check out this show, you clearly have a similar sense of humor to me because, I think I probably started watching that 70s show around, I want to say like 2003, 2004 is when I initially was watching that 70s show. So, like, it wasn't like, it was just basically at the end of the show, and I just watch reruns all the time. And, but like, I fucking love that 70s show. Like, the humor is just, It shaped who I am,
This is the type of guy you get.
And stuff like that. So it's just and so I was skeptical. Skeptical at first because every movie studio is trying to do reboots, remakes, which I don't know. There is something, some people say like most remakes like you just. Like, sometimes they're bad, or not remakes, or, like, reboots, and shit like that, Sometimes it works, it doesn't. Like, Fuller House, I generally thought that one worked pretty good for the most part. I think Fuller House did a great job, because they did a good amount, like, the new characters weren't annoying. And then, like, you still had enough of the old cast, because we had, like, DJ, Kimmy, and Stephanie basically there every episode. So that's 3 original cast members. Then the kids they added, they all did great. Steve was also back, so like that's another character. And then rest in peace Bob Saget, but him, John Stamos, Dave Coulier, like they all came back at perfect times and stuff like that. Like enough to make like a good episode and stuff like that. So that was good. Girl Meets World kind of fell off because I think they focused way too much on the girl in Girl Meets World. And I think most people would like to they'd probably prefer just the original cast get back together with that. Which would be really funny because if you don't know, Maitland Ward, she played the redhead in the college years. I'm gonna look up what her name was. Yeah, she was the redhead in the college years. Ward Balin Ward. And it still says American actress. No, she wasn't Jessica. Who'd she play in Boy Meets World? Okay, so she played what character in Boy Meets World? This is fun podcasting, folks. You're just fucking loving this. And we just learned recently, like, didn't Mr. Feeney, that guy, he's basically polyamorous, you know? Rachel, she played Rachel, okay. So many Rachels in her 90s show, folks. She does porn now, and is it good? Well, here's the thing, folks. I don't watch. She fucks a lot of black guys, and I'm not saying that for any reason other than I haven't seen it, because I like to pretend that I am the guy in the video. That's the illusion I want, and I just can't relate to a black guy. Sorry, that makes me racist. I'll say it doesn't. So, but anyways, we got Girl Meets World. Back to that shit. Yeah, so Girl Meets World, it was very, you just didn't give a shit. And, you wanted more of the original cast. And that's the thing with, like, reboots like this, where it's, like, it's going to focus on a new character. Like, how's that going to go? Because the reason why you would do a reboot is because someone liked the show. And typically why someone liked the show is because of characters. And if those characters aren't back, it's like, you know, it's like you don't know how to feel about it. And so it's like almost a new show in the universe of a show you loved. And like that is not a guarantee that a show will be good or not. But I don't know. I think that 90s show was very surprising. So let's go into this. Like, what do we expect? What did you expect out of it? I was hoping, because I loved That 70s Show. The best part of That 70s Show was like Hyde and Kelso, their like shenanigans with each other. Like those two just built off each other great, and that's why I think the Ranch was so good, and why they really did need to like start like steering to an ending once Danny Masterson had to leave. He got caught in a terrible sexual assault allegation. He's just got caught now. He's probably not that good of a guy, which makes it sad for the show, because like the whole point of the show was like Hyde was like a kid from a family that someone went to jail, someone ran off, they're poor, and they're all just kind of criminals. But like Red and Kitty taking them in, and like Red, you like seriously knew he bonded with him, like, and stuff like that. It's like, I want you to have a better life than you have, and I think, we're lucky enough to give you those resources, stuff like that, But, like, Hyde and Danny Masterson, I mean, regardless of what you say, they're not the same person. And, I don't know, that whole aspect was pretty weird. But, so, Hyde is not in the show at all. It is safe to say. For those of you wondering, Hyde was not even mentioned in the show. That's rough, buddy. Because he had a terrible sexual assault accident that he caused. And probably wasn't an accident either. So here's what I think. Red and Kitty, they're in every episode, and those two fucking gave it 110%. Those two did not skip a beat. The only thing I would say is like how you expect Red Foreman to be a grandpa. Like, he's not as angry as he used to be. He's a lot calmer than he was, but like his personality is still just on check. But it's like, I would not like to I like my granddaughter more than my son, so I would not like I'd probably not stick a foot in my granddaughter's ass, but anyone who harms her, Red is a little softer, but like that's kind of what you should expect as a grandpa, So if you want to think about it that way, yeah. But they give 110%, like that entire show. Eric is only in one episode. That's the first episode. That's really the pilot setup episode. But he is a major character in that episode, so they really scrubbed away the whole Randy situation, except for something I'm going to come back up with very, very soon. That's probably just a mistake on the showrunner's part. Donna, she's in multiple episodes, a big part in the first episode, obviously, and their daughter Leia, is the big part of it. Fez, he's in a lot more than Eric and Donna, but he's like he's fucking the neighbor's mom, the neighbor who now lives in Donna's house. Two of the kids like hang out with Leia, and she's a single mother, has two kids from two different dads. type of situation. So it's different, it's different there. And then I'm telling you, if you saw any promotional material for that 90s show that involved Kelso and Jackie, that's it. That's all they're in it. So don't expect them. They were so fucking good, like they could have made it so good, because their son's a big character in the show. I'll get to that. And like I said, Hyde, Danny Masterson, he's been a bit of a rascal, he stopped existing. So reason to believe this is an alternate universe where Hyde didn't exist. But somehow everything always went about as close as possible, So that's the old cast, and I kind of wish they would have focused more on the old cast. But here's the new cast, and I'm gonna be honest with you, when I'm talking about like the new cast, it's like they're great, If I never saw the original show, I'd like it. But then you think about the old cast, like fucking Kelso and Hyde, like my eye and stuff like that. Burn, man, dude. Yeah, Kelso made the show. Eric's just dumbassness, Like being called a dumbass is just like it clearly feels like Red came up with the term when he had that son, like his son. It was that whole. I mean, I know that in canon it's came about when they found out he was pregnant with Lori, but Lori doesn't exist in the show either. Sorry, but yeah, no, it focuses more on Leia. I probably mentioned Leia already talking about this. That is Don and Eric's child. And she's perfectly cast. Like she looks like she does look like a combination of the two, especially with like her appearance in the show. But like you could be like, oh yeah, that'd be Donna's kid, and then part of it's like, but like she grew up a lot with her dad, so like she has a lot of her dad's personality. But like and they don't look exactly the same, but like that would be what you expected out of those two having a child, especially a girl. And then Jay Kelso, Michael and Jackie had, their son is like one of the main love interests and one main character in the show. And it's kind of annoying that they barely were in the show at all. That really annoyed the shit out of me. Like that. So kind of like they can make fun of him because he's like a man whore, because anyone with the last name Kelso is just basically a man whore. And it's hard to question his like intelligence, because it's always like he's got his dad's looks and his mom's brains. He's been getting straight A's, and then they kind of play him off for an idiot, but like you don't really tell if he's an idiot or not. It's kind of that's a weird subject matter too that I don't really get as well. Yeah, he's a good representation. Like, yeah, I would say though, if they made him just like a normal intelligent level and just made him kind of a man whore, like he would be perfectly their child. Gwen and Nate are the other characters. They're both siblings, so Gwen's like black or half black. I don't get into that, but I don't get into that, but I assume she's half black because her mom's kind of the neighbor who lives in Donna's old house, and Gwen and Leia becomes instant friends, and like she realized, like, oh, that's exactly Donna's room. I said my mom's room when she was a kid, It's like, oh, that's weird and stuff like that, and then oh yeah, her mom is the one that's fucking Fez throughout the show, and it's really funny. Like literally just an excuse to bring back Jim Rash's Benton, who like you're like, oh, I assume that's the same guy from Community, and then you're like, he's actually pretty good. He plays a lot of gay guys, but yeah. Then Nate, he's dating a girl. No, Nate. Yeah, Nate basically joins the group. But he's dating another one, which I guess I'll get into it later. Did I organize this correctly? Oh no, I did right here. Nate is dating Nikki, which is like this really cool girl, but she's also like the smart kid in the gang. They always have to have like a really smart one, but they didn't go with the stereotype of like she's a fucking nerd. I'm not watching Velma, folks. I'm not watching Velma. I heard it's already bad. I don't want to watch it. If it was Morbius, if they're like Morbius is in it, I mean, okay, maybe I might watch it. But yeah, Nikki's like clearly out of Nate's league, but she's also like, I like school, I like getting good grades and stuff like that. She's like trying to go to a good college. So that's Nate's girlfriend, which is just funny. But Nate is clearly the Kelso of the series. Like he's just a fucking dumbass, like the whole time, like legit, just completely dumb. And then there's Ozzy. He's a gay Asian kid, which would be my brother. My brother's dating an Asian man, like a grown man, and this is 100% my brother's boyfriend. Like, I can't tell you enough. Like, they're the same person. Ozzy on the show, he's more sassy, but like Ozzy, and they're basically kind of made him like the Fez of the show, but he's not really like a foreign exchange student or whatever. And honestly, I want to know, like, because you assume late 90s, early 2000s, like, yeah, just having like the gay character would have been weird, but yeah, I don't know. He's gay. He's good. Like, he's fine. Like, he's my brother's boyfriend, and I told him I don't think he's gonna watch the show. So, yeah. But overall, that's the new cast. I like the new cast, but like the whole problem is they had such big shoes to fill. But like, all right, this is gonna be a new iteration of this, and they didn't leave the parents in that much. It's all yin and yang though. You're like, yeah, that's kind of like that 70s show. And I noticed, no one else is going to notice this, but I noticed it, that the couch that was in the living room during that 70s show, they moved to the basement because they're like, we'll move this couch to the basement since it's still pretty and good, but we want a new couch. And we'll get that one that's like just like falling apart. We'll just get rid of it for sure. And that's why the couch is in the basement for when the kids come over and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really cool. Like, they make all the references. They did a lot more like, hey, we're in the 90s versus the like original show, which was like very just like 70s were just like, yeah, that's the time and place. The characters lead the story and stuff like that. So that's cool. Some cool, here's a plot hole I found. This is the biggest plot hole. This is the plot hole I found in that 90s show. So the series takes place July 1995. And during the show, Leia, the daughter of Eric and Donna, has her 15th birthday. So this means she would have been born in 1980. Remember, that 70s show ended midnight of December 31st, 1979. Exactly midnight to the new year. That's when the show ended. According to my math and the conversations I've had with women, it takes usually 9 months for a baby to be born. If Eric got back in like New Year's Eve, 1979, December 31st, 1979, and it takes 9 months to make a baby, and Leia was probably born in July or early August. Is it Randy's kid? It could be Randy's kid. The only question would be was Leia born premature? That's like the only way they could get away with that. It's a very big plot hole, they should have thought. But like, I think when they started that 70s show, they did start it too late in the 70s, and so like the last couple seasons were like days between each other. It was stuff like that. So like they were probably trying to not do that. It's the very middle of the 90s. But so like, yeah, that's an Eric and Donna thing. But also, that also leads to the question of Jackie was with Fez on New Year's Eve 1979. So her and Michael weren't together until, like, it had to have been like maybe a couple months had to have gone by that for Jay. And they kind of make Jay either 15 or 16, like a year older than everyone. He was a year older than everyone because he seemed like he was able to drive, and he wasn't worried about it. So he at least had to have his permit or his actual license. So that's even bigger than that. But I think it's because it's Donna and Eric, like Jackie and Kelso. It's like, fucking, is it Hyde's baby? It could, like, if it was born, that clearly could have been Hyde's. Cause I don't think it took, because that was near the end of the series, and like there wasn't much time between all that. Like Hyde had the stripper, married to the stripper, and they separated and stuff like that. That happened pretty fast. So I would definitely say it's Hyde's baby, probably more than it was Fez's baby. So a lot of plots already in that show. So sorry everyone watching here. Overall, show isn't bad. I think some places rated it 7 out of 10. I do 7 out of 10. My heart wants it to be 7. I want to say 7.5 because I still really enjoyed the process of watching it. It was fun, it brought me back. It's now made me like, I want to watch That 70s Show now. I want to rewatch some episodes. And to come to find out, it used to be on Netflix. Remember when fucking there were like 2 streaming services and everything was just on Netflix or Hulu? Now fucking it's on Peacock, which I do have Peacock. And the only reason why is I have Xfinity Mobile as my phone provider. And they just give Peacock free to everyone. With ads, though. That's the problem with ads. So if I want to watch that 70 show, I have to fucking watch it with ads. And I've already been doing everything else with no ads for a minute now. And I used to be like, I don't mind the ads. Now I'm watching something on Hulu. I like not having the ads. Now I have to rewatch it with ads. And it fucking is ruining my life. So, but anyways, though, that 90 show, I will say, if you are a fan of the original series, you will enjoy it. Just take my expectations of the original cast, not being big characters, but the new cast. They still get it done. They didn't really Disney kid wash it like they did with, Girl Meets World either, and made it too kid friendly. It's still made for teenagers, adults, for you to reckon with. And it's kind of like for parents to be like, yeah, that's what the 90s were like, and then kids be like, oh, that's what I'm a kid too. Like, kids are all the same. We all, I'm the same as my parents. We're not the same age anymore. Fun shit. Fun shit. All right, so last week I talked about this. I thought of the idea on the show, and today I want to do that idea on the show. I said that I want to start reviewing children's books because what was the literature that I was given as a child, and which ones do I remember, which ones I don't. And now I've decided that I need to remember that shit. Like, what? How did that change me, and what did it make me do? So I guess without further ado, I want to get into it. So today I want to read the book Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss, or Theodore Geisel, who cheated on he did cheat on his wife. I think she had cancer, then she died from it and was not happy. We don't remember that about him. Sorry I brought that up. I'm sorry I ruined that for everyone. But anyways, though, Green Eggs and Ham, I Googled, what is Green Eggs and Ham about? And if for those of you who don't know, in Dr. Seuss books, he would very much make these stories, and they're supposed to make you think. Like, as a kid, you just think nothing. You don't know the world. When you're an adult, you're like, how is this supposed to make me think about global relations and stuff like that? Like, he had some books about, was it the Measles or whatever I talked about last week, that they were mad because it was about segregation and stuff like that, the problems with segregation and stuff like that. And I bet the reason why I don't think segregation worked on me, because basically, if you didn't know, music was segregated for the longest time. And so when you think schools were segregated, restaurants were, and stuff like that, and what other stuff is segregated? People don't remember music being segregated. And then you realize all these black people were making the fucking best music, and the white people were just fucking up. And it took a while, the civil rights movement and stuff like that, and then it started all merging and stuff like that. The reason why Elvis is so popular, he's a great performer, but he performed black people's music, and white people were like, we can just sell it to the white people too, because you can't be racist if someone makes you money. Anyways, though, back to Green Eggs and Ham. This book, from what Google told me, Green Eggs and Ham is often read as an allegory for overcoming irrational prejudice. So, that's what it's about. I'm sorry, that's what it says. I don't know. Anyways, though, let's jump into it. I'm going to be starting here. This is page 7 or something like that, right? Anyways, though, I'm going to snap my fingers. I'm going to jump into the book. If you're watching me on YouTube, there we go. Now I'm out in the book. I'll just be small here, and you can see the pictures. For those of you who, I bet if you're listening to podcasts, you're like, I could probably also listen to an audiobook too. It's no big deal. So anyways, on this page, Sam I Am just ran by or whatever. And then it's just that's Sam I Am, that's Sam I Am. I do not like that Sam I Am. First of all, my real name is Sam. So if you only know me as Schweezy, that's not my real name. So shut the fuck up. So this book's already starting off, and I just learned what the book was about before I even started reading this. I'm starting to think he's a little racist towards Sam for some reason. I'm gonna let you know that thought does go away. The more I read the book, the more that thought goes away about our buddy Sam being a racist. But this guy looks like he's saying the N-word. He doesn't. But we also need to know the relationship before What's going on here?
Cool stuff, slick stuff, neat stuff.
Because, like, it looks like they have a history. And if they have a history, like, it's going to be hard for me to want to take sides on this. Like, why is this dude just so pissed off about Sam I Am's existence? Also, the other guy's name is Guy I Am. I looked at the wiki page, like the Seuss wiki. That's the source for this, you know? That's the best source I'm going to fucking get, dude. Anyways, though, like, so they're already just fucking... he already does not like this guy. There's beef. Something's happened in that situation. On the next page, do you like green eggs and ham? So already Sam's going off the deep end here. He's like, you like green eggs and ham? Now, green eggs and ham. Now, at this point, no one mentioned the ham being green. Just wanted to say here, no one said the ham needed to be green, but the ham is green. And already, like, you know, I like pork. I like pulled pork, but there's other parts of, like, I don't like ham. I don't know why. I think I just had some bad cooked ham before. And, you know, if you read any Bible by anyone, any of them, they were very much not, don't eat pigs, because in my mind, they probably didn't know what to do with how to cook pigs. And so, if you already don't know how to cook pig, don't eat pigs. This is green. This is a green dead pig. So, yeah, he's been offered this gross food, and he's using a device to reach it to him, like this would be perfect for handicapped people. And also, it seems like there's the beef before. Where's the restraining order? Okay, I have a question. Next page. I do not like them, Sam I Am. I do not like green eggs and ham. And you know, someone offers you food, and you're like, that looks gross. I'm not eating that. It's just be like, you know, I'm just kindly saying, I don't want this. Thank you for the offer, but I don't want this. Next page. Would you like them here or there? So, if someone's ever offered you food and you initially say no, a lot of times they're like, oh, you're just trying to be nice, you don't want to take my food. And so, again, they would ask, if you're worried about eating this, it's no problem. You got to try this. It's so good, you know. Sometimes you have to convince people a little bit, and, you know, there's a limit to this. Guy I Am is just keeping his cool. If you're looking at the pictures, he's just, like, trying to keep that cool. Sam just like, I would not like to eat that, thank you. He's like, what about here or there? At that point, Sam, you need to realize, just move on. At this point, move on. No one wants you to eat your green food. Move on. Next page. I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I Am. He's like, brother, I don't like it. So I'm just good. It's not a food I like. You need to understand the social cues at this point. This is about dealing with people with Asperger's, maybe. Maybe that's what this book is about. So if you understand social cues, you know that after this rant, but I would not like them here or there, I would not like them anywhere, you just need to leave this guy alone. He's not going to eat your goddamn fucking food, okay? No matter how green you make it, the green actually probably makes it worse. But it looks like Sam I Am is pretty fucking determined, so the movie continues. Next page. Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse? So first of all, like, would you just like to eat them inside, maybe? It's like, I understand we're outside. So would you like to eat my green-ass nasty food inside? No, I still wouldn't eat them if especially if it was inside. How about, would a mouse seal the deal? I don't know in what goddamn fucking world you think that, hey, if you eat this gross-ass fucking food, you can eat it with this mouse. Oh, is the mouse, like, specially trained or anything? No, he just lives at a house. He's just a fucking rodent. He's worse than that, because this one doesn't look like... He's living there on purpose, you know? And that's the fucking worst problem with it. Next page. I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. So this is the point. I think this is the real point this guy loses his shit. Like, this is the time, like, if you've ever had to, like, if you've ever worked a retail job. I remember I worked at Target, and they were like, you need to sell red cards. And then I learned that my boss, she gets bonuses the more you sell. And I don't give a shit. I'm like, I don't really give a shit. And this sounds like, if someone just is really like, I do not want that fucking shit. I don't want your goddamn fucking Target red card. You're like, all right. I don't think this guy's going to buy one. I don't think he's getting it. This is the point in your sales pitch where you decide, I'm going to find another person and try to get this set up. Okay? That's the dealio here. So Sam should just fucking back the fuck off. Next page. Would you eat them in a box? Would you eat them with a fox? So remember how we're all like, no means no, and like if a woman doesn't want to have sex with you, just assume it's the I actually don't want to have sex with you. It's like, I don't want to have a sex with you, ... right now. That's a whole other box of questions. But just remember, no means no. And would you think this is the moral of the story? No means no. No, we're not even close to answering that. Someone doesn't understand what no means. Next page, not in a box, not with a fox, not in a house, not with a mouse. I would not eat them here or there. I would not eat them anywhere. I would not eat green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. If this wasn't a kid's book, guy I am would have fucking beat the shit out of Sam. I would have just like one fucking, if you can get a one good punch, just be like, stay the fuck away, Sometimes people get a little antsy with you. I usually just call them by the wrong name. That's my style. You can also punch them. But like, this dude's done. This dude is done. Next page. Could you in a car eat them? Eat them, here they are. I could not in a car. Okay. If you're watching the show, the listeners need to know this. It looks like Sam ran over a guy with his car. The fox and the mouse are in the back seat. It's like, I don't know how to describe this car. You're going to have to see the video. But he's still holding the food. You don't want to eat them in the car. I think you're out of seats, buddy. And you just hit him with your car. If someone hit you with their car, would you eat their gross food? That's a question for the comments. Next page. You may like them. You will see. You may like them in a tree. How the fuck did he drive his fucking car up a tree? That makes no goddamn fucking sense. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't be real life. That's disgusting. Just fucking tree. I could not in a tree. Not in a car, you let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. Just take the fucking hint. You're like on a cliff over a tree. Are you trying to roofie him? Are there roofies in the eggs? That's the only logical answer I would think. So now they fell off the tree and they're about to land on a train. That's the picture I'm looking at. A train. Would you on a train? Look, buddy, honestly, where would you... Eating, like your house is a good option. That's your good first choice. In your car, you're single. I was in college. I ate in my car a lot. I just had a lot of rehearsals, and I played music. But a train is not a good option for this shit. Next page. Not on a train, not in a tree, not in a car, Sam. Let me be. I could not in a box. Would not eat with a fox. I will not eat them with a mouse. I will not eat them in a house. I will not eat them here or there. I will not eat them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. The fact that guy remembered every question has you to know that this is why rape culture is so big right now. It's like, don't take no for an answer. I'm like, honestly, if you're desperate for sex, there's women there. Women will do it for you. It's not that hard. It's really not as hard as you think it is. Just don't be a dick or whatever. But they're also going into a cave. So next page. Say in the dark, here in the dark, could you in the dark? I would not, could not in the dark, because in the dark, you shouldn't eat in the dark, folks. That's sad. People you're like, that's not even depression. That's just like your life is sad. Like that's what you're like. If you're depressed and you can still eat with the lights on, that's a good sign for you. Could you in the rain? I would not, could not in the rain, not in the dark, not on a train, not in a car, not in a tree. I do not like them, Sam, you see, not in a house, not in a box, not with a mouse, not with a fox. I will not eat them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. No one wants to eat in the fucking rain, okay? I don't know how that's like, like if you're a salesman, you gotta like up your sales pitch and make it better and better. You gotta make it sound better. In the rain, I don't like being out in the rain. I'm like, my hair, I will do my hair and I'm like, why does my hair look bad today? And I'm like, it's raining outside. I'm like, I'm inside. I'm not going to go out there. Fucking shit. Next page. You do not like green eggs and ham? Do not like them, Sam I am. And how did this fucking thing turn into a roller coaster? Like, what is going on? Like, things have gone off the rail. This, I don't know who's worse. Sam is clearly just like an MLM, multi-level marketing pyramid scheme. Guy I am, he's being kidnapped. Like, this is I don't even know. How do you even, like, how was I again just be like, it's just what happened. I guess this is what happens in life. Shit, god damn. Could you with the goat? I could not, we're not with the goat. We're, okay. Sam really does not negotiate, first of all. And he's like, if you were to say with the goat and put me on there, or Nancy Reagan for being the throat goat, either one, actually, I think that could, imagine you get in a blowjob, you're like, but you got to eat the green eggs and ham. Like, I guess I'll do it. They're still on a roller coaster, though. Could you on a boat? See, if someone tricks me on a boat, like, I don't really know very well. It's like, let's go out on my boat. I'm like, I got to get a good vibe off of them first before I go on their boat. Because, like, it's like, if you kill someone at sea, does it count? I don't know. So they're on a boat now, I guess. Next page. I could not, would not on a boat. I will not with a goat. I will not eat them in the rain. I will not eat them on a train. Not in the dark. Not in a tree. Not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I will not eat them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I don't like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. And, big highlight of the moment. Why did I get emotional right now? Why am I getting emotional right now? Sam I am's underwater. At this point, in my honest opinion, not a lot of foods could be made fresh and then thrown underwater. This is the ocean. Like, I'm not seeing land in the background. This is the ocean. If you didn't want to eat the green eggs and ham, then why the fuck would anyone want to eat them now after they've been fucking underwater? Okay? How, at this point, you give up. You're like, well, I don't have backup food. Like, I guess, and I can't expect you to eat this. I guess I'll try again tomorrow. Like, you try again tomorrow. That's what you do. You try again tomorrow. That's how you do it. You just go home. Sometimes you have bad days. And what you do when you have bad days is you have your drinks, you feel good, you go to sleep, you wake up, and you try again. Because usually the next day, a lot of times can be better than the one before. Unless you work a really shitty job, then it's just going to be bad every day. Sorry. If every day is bad at a job you work, don't get into music. Fine, just go to college, go back to college, get a degree in something you know to talk to people. All right, next page. You don't like them, so you say. Try them, and you may. Try them, and you may, I say. We're on the next page. Sam, if you will let me be, I will try them. You will see. Like, guys, just bringing a man to his breaking point right now. And I think I though I share the name with Sam, I feel the pain of Guy in everything he does and everything he tries. Now I'm fucking rhyming. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. All right, so like at the beginning of this, if you said no, at the second time you said no, the third try is probably the last moment you're gonna get to eat this food when it is actually good. So now Sam is trying the food. We're looking at just pictures. Sam and every other fucking person he has been kidnapped within the ocean water eating this ocean-soaked fucking green eggs and ham. Questionable to begin with. And we get to the plot twist of the story. We get to the goddamn plot twist. Say, I like green eggs and ham. I do, I like them, Sam I am. And I would eat them in a boat, and I will eat them with a goat. And I will eat them in the rain, and in the dark, and on a train, and in a car, and in a tree. They are so good you see. So I will eat them in a box, and I will eat them with a fox. And I will eat them in a house, and I will eat them with a mouse. And I will eat them here and there. Say, I will eat them anywhere. I do so like green eggs and ham. Thank you, Sam I am. So what's you finished this fucking book. You're reading this book for your fucking kids. Like, are you reading what I'm reading here? People, are you reading this? We're like, this is the kids' book. I want them to have this. I want them to be, surrounded by literature. And then you're in this, like, a guy has gross, weird food, ruins a man's life to try and convince him to eat his food, and then turns out, in plot twist, his food is like heroin. It's like, I had a bad thought. I'm going to change my thought real quick. It's like getting someone addicted to donuts, and I was going to use a drug, and I was going to use a really bad profession. But it's like getting someone addicted to donuts, and now they're 500 pounds, and that's now not good for anyone. So, if you read the story yourself, you're like, sometimes you should try new things. And what I learned reading this book again as an adult, now on proper medication. Hey, if someone doesn't understand the answer no, show physical force. That is that answer. And sometimes foreign food is pretty gross, and you do not have to eat it, but sometimes it's good. So go with your gut, and if it smells bad, don't eat it. If you don't mind the smell, go ahead and try it. What's the worst that could happen? But anyways, though, more importantly...
Man proposes and God disposes.
Have you ever cracked open a cold one with the boys? The vibes are on, then all of a sudden, you are out of cold ones? Though the vibes are still on, the vibes will soon go off because you are out of cold ones. There's no need to drive when you're under the vibes. That's why today's sponsor, Drizly, is here to make sure that the vibes continue. Drizly gets all your favorite beer, seltzer, wine, whiskey, and much more delivered directly to your home. With their easy-to-use mobile app, we are getting one step closer to never leaving our homes. You know it's saying something when it's being praised as the Amazon for liquor. Drizly is my go-to app for getting all the booze I need so I can do other things. So using our link in the description today, you can save $5 off your first purchase through Drizly. Drizly has proprietary ID verification technology that it provides to its retail partners that allows drivers to scan IDs for more than a barcode to make sure the purchaser is over 21 years old in the US and of legal drinking age in Canada. Retailers on Drizly may have a minimum order or delivery fee. So using our link in the description, get $5 off your first order with Drizly. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show. You're not a boomer who still goes to what our ancient civilizations called a store. You buy everything on the internet like a modern individual. What if I could tell you that you could be saving more on your purchases by only making a few clicks on your computer? That's where today's sponsor, Honey, will change your life. Honey is a free browser extension you can download using the link in our description of this episode. Honey searches the entire internet for promo code, coupon codes, free shipping, and anything else that will save you money when buying things online. It's 100% free, and at no point will you have to pay for it with all of those many microtransactions. It's as simple as pressing a single button and you can start saving money. Not using Honey is basically throwing money away that could be saved for more important things. I recently had to get business cards for myself, and Honey literally saved me 60% on a pack of 500 business cards. It was amazing. Add the Honey extension to your browser today for free by using the link in our description of this episode. And when you use our links, you directly support this show.
Oh no! Our table!
Oh yes, it's time for our segment called "Oh No, Our Table," where it was formerly called Ask Schweezy. I think the new name, "Oh No, Our Table," the new segment of this podcast where I just fucking give advice. That's a good one. All right. Anyways, though, it's usually Ask Schweezy, but I guess it's "Oh No, Our Table," the part of the podcast where I answer questions from it's the internet to me, so that's all that matters. Fucking god damn it! Already got to a rough start on the first one. Is it gay to jerk off to yourself through a mirror?
What?
Oh, my brother. Oh my god, dude. I'm trying to process this, okay. Is it gay to jerk off to yourself through a mirror? Fellas, is it gay? Fellas, is it gay? Jerk off yourself in the mirror? Like, what? So, just gathering my thoughts. Trying to make noise for the audio listeners, just to gather my thoughts as to what's going on. What am I hearing right now? Is it gay to jerk off? So, I'm gonna just fucking... Oh, look. This show is deep thoughts into nonsense. So, we're thinking here, is it gay? So, how would jerking off to yourself be gay? Your first thought is like, well, you're a man, so if you're jerking off to another man, you're gay. Okay. That's a thought. We have that thought there. That thought is able to be figured out. Alright, so jerking off to a guy is gay. But then you're like, okay, what kind of guys are you jerking off to? Oh, myself. Okay. Were you turned on by watching yourself jerk off? And that's the question, yes. Yes, it is. And so then it comes to a point where I guess what your idealistic relationship would be, and I guess you would say it is myself. If I could fuck myself, I would. People, I say, I slept with your mom, and they're like, go fuck yourself. And you're like, I didn't. I fucked my mom. But no, like, fuck yourself, and like, they would. They would totally just like fucking do themselves. They're called narcissists. But I've never thought about narcissists like in a way where it's like, do you just want to fuck yourself? Like, nah, you want to fuck anything. That's the good question though, yeah. But it feels like very narcissist to me, you know, like to jerk yourself in the mirror. But I don't know. But is it gay? That's the question we're trying to answer here. Is it gay? Gay as in penis. And you specifically want you want other penis people to touch your penis. Yeah, you know, I feel like in this regards to sexuality, we have gone too far into existence to even need to understand what you're going through as a sexuality. But I'm just going to undercomplicate everything that we're thinking about right now. I'm going to say that This is not gay. This is not attraction to another man. This is attraction to yourself. So if we're going to go technically, if we're going to go with technicality on the situation, it is not gay. It is not gay. But it's also like saying, I'm having sex with a trans woman. Is that gay? You're a man? Yeah. As a trans woman, it's a man having sex with a woman too. But is it gay to jerk off to yourself? It's a very similar situation. And I'm going to say it's not gay. I'm going to go with it's not gay. Because what does being gay mean? Being attracted to men. Is it being attracted to men? Yeah. Okay. Actually, that could be gay. Anyways, though, I'm just going to go with not gay. I'm just going to put all my cards into that because, you know what? I'm getting older. And you know what? Life is moving forward. And I can't control it. So I'm just going to stick with things and be like, you know what? I don't have any more energy to fight on this. Like, there's certain topics and certain things we're willing to put our all into. But in regards to, is it gay to jerk off to yourself in the mirror? I think I've run out of toast on that. So sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
That's rough, buddy.
Why are so many girls willing to take hormonal birth control? Why not just use condoms? I'm a female myself, and I personally would never take birth control because of the terrifying effects it has on the body, especially hormonal. Knowing the effects condoms are, why isn't it more common to go without birth control and just use condoms? So, yeah, there's many reasons to. I also have to say I am not a woman. So the only thing I know, I did a little research on this. The only thing I know with why women use birth control comes down to keeps my hormones straight, my cycle regular, and my skin better. Plus, no condoms. That's my research I put into it. So yeah, in regards to, I'm a man, so I'm not going to understand the hormones, the cycle, your blood cycles, and your skin, because skin problems can be caused by hormones too. And, it's like that. That's the reason why women, that's just my research. But now I'm going to go into a man's unnecessary opinion. I thought the men out there and the other women needed to know a man's opinion who probably shouldn't matter to it. Why not just use condoms? One, condoms are effective when they do work. Condoms break, God's not fair. We can't all be intended children. I was intended, but not personality intended. If that makes sense. That's how my life worked. And you just you're given what you're taking. But yeah, for most women, there's for that. For a guy. As I'm going through this, it's just like one, condoms break, they do break and stuff like that. And like, could you fucking imagine having, in my mind, if I intend to, I'll love the kid, but like, it's a broken condom kid. Like a broken condom kid there's just, that's a very specific way God created you. Being a broken condom kid. And the more I started thinking about it, the more I started thinking, I'm like, I think I kind of know some broken condom kids. And now I'm kind of sad. Anyway, so that is one fucking reason that the condoms can be bad. And then you have to get the day late with the plan B. And like sometimes if you're too fat, it might not work. And it's like, but I'm 120 pounds, but yeah, you slept with like a 300-pound guy. I don't know if that's the reason. The pill's made so like if women who are really fat, it doesn't work on them. So there's problems with that too. If the condom breaks, and just I want to say 75-25, but I know it's a lot higher on the woman's part. I know that. Condoms just fucking suck. The reason why they're so effective is because they fucking suck. And and I'm the guy. I'm the first guy to put on a condom. Like, just if you bat under, you're gonna be fine, my friends. So I hope that made me sound. I think I intended to sound really cool when I initially posted this, but now I kind of sound like an asshole. So we're gonna move on to our next question. If you had to live with only 5 material possessions, what would you choose? Okay. 5 material possessions. Oh my God. Okay. So I'm trying to think here. If I was good at podcasting, I'm telling you folks, if I was good at podcasting, I would have had this list prepared. Now, we are at a point where I have to think about this stuff at the top of my head. But I'm going to think about it at the top of my head. I'm going to go through with it. I'd either say... Okay, so I think 2 of them... I want to say... Okay, I want to say all my computer and data wares into music that I've created. That'd be one of them. Like my computer and any of the data that's on like a drive or whatever. I want to say that would be one of them. I just want to make sure my life's work is saved. Even, sometimes you make bad life works, people. Sometimes your life work sucks. But some asshole will teach a class about it if you're lucky. So that's what's going to happen. So 5 materials. So my computer / data that has music involved. Okay, so I do want to save... I'll save my acoustic guitar. My acoustic guitar I use right now. I've had multiple, and I've had some guitars been stolen from me. But I do want to talk about the guitar I got. That was the first one I started playing on because my mom is a teacher, and she thought, maybe I could play guitar for my class. Then she learned she had to trim, like, her acrylic nails or whatever, and then that's why she quit. I took the guitar, and that's why I started playing music. So I want to keep that guitar, at least the acoustic. I'll keep that as well. I would take my Nintendo Switch too. That's my third one, my Nintendo Switch. I do think that is a console. Like, I'll have a lot of games saved on it. Hopefully, okay. Number 4 is internet access. So I'm bringing forward internet access with me so I can make sure I have every Nintendo Switch game ever made. And material was, I guess I have to pick. I don't think I'm going to take my Xbox. I have my guitar. I'll take my audio interface. My audio interface is what I use to do this. All my audio equipment. So I'll take that with me. I'm changing to audio equipment. That way I can take things to podcast with. I already have internet access. I no longer have a camera, so that kind of fucking sucks. I should have thought of that. If the internet device is a phone. Okay, that's changing that too. We figured out what the things I would change is. So I guess the things I would change: my computer and music data, my acoustic guitar, the first one I ever got, my audio recording equipment. I think that is, and internet access. That's number 5, and that would be my phone too, so I could record the podcast too. And we have internet, and this is all internet, so everything would be perfect. We'd have the perfect podcast. The background would be a beach from now on. You know what? Next week, we're going to do the podcast on a beach. That's already a thing. So I'm already going to say that. Beach podcast. We're going to do that. So, yeah, that's the things I've got. So, don't.
Come on, Mark. Don't be stingy.
What's the Sam Smith song Unholy about? Okay, so I love this song. This is so good. I'm like uniquely a fan of Kim Petra now. I've just became a fan. I'm like, this chick's cool. And they're like, oh yeah, no, I wanted to do this for the podcast. The idea was I saw something. It may have just been like someone tweeted or something like that. It was like Haley Williams didn't know Kim Petras was transgender, Kim apparently used to be a guy, it's like whatever. I don't know. It's I only know as Kim. It's a woman. I'm not calling Kim Petras a man because it's clearly a woman. I'm not going to do that. Anyways, I like that song a lot. Her verse is cool. But let's go through the verse. To me, I think the song is just about cheating. But let's just go through it. Lucky, lucky girl, she got married to a boy like you. She'd kick you out if she ever knew. But all the you tell me that you do. There's a dash there. All the shit probably you tell me that you do. Dirty, dirty boy. You know, everyone is talking on the scene. I heard them whispering about the places that you been. He's British, remember, it's Sam Smith saying that. Places that you been. And how you don't know how to keep your business clean. Mommy don't know daddy's getting hot at the body shop doing something unholy. He sat back while she's dropping it. She be popping it. Yeah, she put it down slowly. O-E-O-E-O. He left his kids at ho-e-o-e-om so he can get that. Mommy don't know daddy's getting hot at the body shop doing something unholy. And Ken Petras now comes in. Daddy, daddy, if you want it, drop that addy. Give me love, give me Fendi, give me Balenciaga daddy. You gonna need to bag it up because I'm spending on rodeo. Woo. You can watch me back it up. I'll be gone in the AM. And he get me Prada, get me Moo like Rihanna. He always call me because I never cause no drama. And when you want it, baby, I know I got you covered. And when you need it, baby, just jump under the covers. And then we go back into the initial chorus that we all go into. Mommy don't know daddy's getting hot at the body shop doing something unholy. He sat back while she's dropping it. She be popping it. Yeah, she pull it down slowly. O-E-O-E-O. He left the kids at ho-e-o-e-om so you can get that. Mommy don't know daddy's getting hot at the body shop doing something unholy. So clearly, going over all these lyrics, the song is about cheating. So don't cheat, because cheating is bad. Okay? What is the most respectful way to get a bartender / waiter's attention, especially if they seem busy? So I guess waitress, you just get one that passes by, and you ask about it. If they're not an asshole, it's not gonna be a problem for anyone. It's just someone was doing something and something else. It's just how having jobs sucks, and you don't always understand what they're going through. So just do that, like with the waiter. Just hey, can we get our check? Or hey, am I able to get a box? And they'll think about getting a box or whatever for that table or whatever. They'll get the waitress to go over there. It's like everyone has a life. It's whatever the fuck. Bartenders, there's a difference. So sometimes what you can do, I did see a thing long ago. I was trying to do better with my confidence, which I think I'm doing good right now, but it was one of those things I was having some problems, mentally, I took whatever, just more of a feel better class. And it was how to be the cool guy with the bartender. I think it was an Alpha M video, he has some cool ideas with hair products. I do encourage that in some fashion and stuff, but I don't like the whole alpha, it's Alpha M or whatever. I don't really believe in the whole alpha shit. I'm a Ligma male. And please DM me at TheSchweezy on Instagram. Specifically Instagram. If you want to know what a Ligma male is, I'll be more than happy to let you know. So, Alpha M. I like him. He seems like a cool guy, though. Hair products are solid, I've heard. I've never tried them on my hair, though. So I think I've found what I really like until they go out of business and I have to find something else similar. The bartender attention, the idea is you pay for your first, instead of just opening a tab or whatever, or maybe you can open a tab, but the idea is to tip your bartender. So figure out how much you want to spend on drinks or whatever. And if you're I'm going to impress a lot of bitches, you're going to spend a lot of money. So make sure you have that kind of job. What you would do is go from, so you start from your biggest idea of a tip, of the evening first. So that guy sees it, and then the bartender's actually, it doesn't matter of gender either. That's also really cool. You can be just a really creepy guy. Be what's up, man? And you kind of have to slowly, give less and less over the evening because, like, a little bit less, or like they understand, like, yeah, you already give me this. This is more money. Yeah. Respect your bartenders and respect your bartenders, people. And so that's the idea. So, like, every time you go to the bar, the bartender's gonna think in mind, like, hey, I'll get this guy first because he tipped me nice. And, like, that's just modern, like, brain manipulation or whatever. I'm like, oh, yeah, if you tip a lot, the bartender's gonna be like, I'm going back to that guy because I would like more money and stuff like that. And that's a good way to get attention. If you don't have money, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Just don't be an asshole. And you wait, and then you be nice, and make sure you tip. That's what you do. That's how you do it. And,
I identify as a fucking threat.
So, yeah. Which 1970s rock stars is most likely to live to 100? It's funny. Why are the first people that come to mind is Mick Jagger. That dude is crazy. I want to do, I do a lot of Garth Brooks type content on this podcast, and I'm just like, Garth, what have you fucking been doing, and what the fuck? And, and it's hard for me, it's like, I just find these news articles, you dissect, when you get to the quotation marks of Garth Brooks, and you're just like, yeah, you just pray your knee bones off. I'm like, Garth, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Pray your knee bones off? You're praying so hard that you, don't have knees anymore? And I feel like the knees are the thing that, connects the legs and ankles together, Just saying. Garth, you said the weirdest things, but Garth was born in 1960, 62, the same... He's like a month younger than my mom, and I'm obsessed with a man who is just a fucking a month older than my mom. Some of these rock stars you think are going to live to 100. I do think my first thought, Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger, that dude, he jogs 6 miles a day. Now, let's think here. Mick Jagger, I know, minimum, because I was told he is older than my dad when he died. Now, my dad, well, this April he'd be 65, but he died at 64. He died a day before he died a day before he turned 64. So I just consider him 64 when he died. Anyways, though, Mick Jagger is older than 1964. I'm going to guarantee Mick Jagger is 1958. Mick Jagger, I'm looking up on the iPad now. Mick Jagger, 1943. Okay, I was way off. I was fucking way off, dude. Anyways, though, dude is totally living to 100, and he has his wife is literally a couple years older than me. I know she was in her 30s, and she was 32, 33, maybe. I'm about to turn 30 this year. We're in less than a decade. We're in a decade of each other. Me and Mick Jagger's wife in age. And it seems weird that he's older than my dad. But he jogged 6 miles a day and stuff like that. Keith Richards might just... He's that guy. He's like, I drink Dr. Pepper every day, and that's how I live to be 103. And you look at them they're barely living. They're just there. Someone kill me. But, yeah. Those two I could see. Bob Saget was up there, but I guess he did have a Coke thing. So, think about that. I could see Rob Lowe. I mean, I know he played Chris in Parks and Rec, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to be the first person to live to 150. And I'm like, I could see him doing it. But here's another thing, though. My dad was super healthy. Before he was dying, and we learned about that the last time, when he initially first started going to the hospital for that. Time before that, the last time he was really in the hospital was when he got his tonsils taken out when he was a child. He was born in 58. So, and then, he was just as healthy as could be, the healthiest guy. And then he died at 64, and you're like, man, you expect that guy to be living to, 99 or whatever. I was worried with my dad. It was we're gonna have to, like, Dad, we're gonna have a conversation soon about, like, when you're on, like, a plane or in a car ride about taking naps, because you're getting kind of that old age range where you definitely don't need to be sleeping out in public because people are gonna think you're dead, and it's gonna give people with anxiety worse anxiety in traumatic events. So it's definitely something you don't want to be doing. So it's just like, and then my dad, you know, like going back to the topic, noting like my dad, he like had some like very rare disease that killed him, and like sometimes just like you get something happens like at a certain age, and then you slowly have a few weeks to live, and it's to be honest with you, it's the weirdest shit, and so it's hard to actually necessarily name celebrities, what I would say, like, because it's like something could just happen, because I think that's what kind of happened with Carrie Fisher too, right? It's just like, oh, she got really sick, and they're like, oh, we're hanging on for dear life, and then she died. And so it's like, people, you'd be like, they're not that old, you know? And so it'd be very weird, but like, if I can just, like, my only like real guesses I would ever say would go on like, how's that guy kind of looking right now, you know? I could see Christian Bale could live to be like, he's gonna live to be a lot older, but like something tells me like he's been the guy who's been like, I'll gain 100 pounds for a role. Yeah, I'll lose 100 pounds for a role. You know, he's that guy, and like, you know, those, like, it's just great determination and great assistant to like an actor being a good actor. Like, that's why you should let sports people do steroids and stuff like that. But I've been going on a while about like 1970s rock stars. If you're gonna go specifically with rock stars, yeah, that's the rest of the members of the band the Rolling Stones, because what I will tell you right now is that previously Charlie, the drummer, was the only guy who looked his age in the Rolling Stones. And I'm not, and you know, not Mick Jagger or whatever, Keith Richards. He was he does not look his age. He looks like to be 130. And you're like, oh, he's actually younger than I thought. So the question's going to be really weird, but if I'm going to go with that guess, yeah. Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. So, yeah. All right, now on to our last question of the episode. What's a sign that you've gained too much weight? Some of these sound very specific to me, and I don't know how to handle it. So I initially, it was like 2019, I was like, I need to lose some weight. And, you know, I tried to, you know, I worked myself to, I did lose a lot of weight. I gained a lot of it back and stuff like that. Still got to work hard. You know, life's not easy for anyone, especially me, but, you know, I'm built different, so it's going to be different for everyone. So how we gain too much weight? I think the moment it happened for me, I would say I was in a place, and I guess one of the walls was a mirror, and I did not think it was a mirror at first. And I think I saw myself in the reflection of the mirror, and I was like, look at that fat guy. I'm glad I don't look like that. And then I figured out it was a mirror. I'm like, oh my God, that's me. You know, and so that's why I've gained weight. I need to lose weight again. It's that drinking alcohol is too much fun, folks. That is the real problem with what's going on here. But yeah, that's my first sign that you gain too much weight. I don't want to like put anyone into like an eating disorder type of range, but one thing you have to understand, like, when you get older, you get fatter. So remember that. So if you were like, I'm looking at a photo from when I was 13 to when I'm now 46, and you're like, oh, I look horrible. Like, don't compare that. It's just, you know, how much weight you've gained, or whenever you think about a time in your life you were comfortable, it's probably, you know, nothing for no one. You're like, oh, what's different? I'm like, oh, I've gained weight. That's something. You look fat as fuck. Why are you getting a haircut like that? You look fat as fuck. And you know, you don't need that in your life. That's when if someone says usually no one's going to say anything to you that's a local friend. If you post content on the internet, you're going to hear how fucking fat you are all the time. But signs that you think you should gain too much weight, I didn't think weight loss is really, I think I really do think if you just start focusing on diet, like, you'll lose more weight. Because I always used to think it was like, if I exercise more, I'll lose weight. But now it's like, if you diet right, you'll lose weight. So, yeah. What signs should you take? That's scary, because I don't know if you have some sort of eating disorder, do not take this advice. I don't want you to take this advice. For me, it's like, I used to look so say you're like 27 and you see a picture of when you were 23 and like, I look so good then. I'm like, what happened now? I'm like, I've gained some weight. Maybe if I lose some weight, I'll look like I'm 23 again, And it's not necessarily true, but, losing weight, taking care of yourself does make you look better, Taking care of yourself makes you look better. Getting a very off-brand scent of what Harry Styles' $300 cologne smells like, it's the same thing, so... But also, you're perfect the way you are. You don't need to change at all, because you listen to Cancel Schweezy. And that's a great way to end this episode. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Cancel Schweezy, better known as the Lord's trademark favorite podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Social media at TheSchweezy. Check out all my music under Schweezy, and you can also look under Stonehouse, wherever you stream music. Y'all already know that. I don't need to say that anymore. Twitch.tv/TheSchweezy. If you have an Amazon Prime account, connect it to your Twitch account and go subscribe. Patreon to give us a tip and tell us how awesome we are. And make sure you check out our YouTube page. Leave a comment, leave a like, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're on YouTube. And if you're listening to the podcast, make sure you're subscribed and leave a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 star rating and leave us a review as well. So don't be stingy.
Come on, Mark. Don't be stingy.
Honk if you love butt drugs. And stay awesome. Believe it or not, Schweg isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep. I must be out or I'd pick up the phone. Where could I be? Believe it or not, I'm not home. You just finished a full episode of Cancel Schweezy. You are now one of the smartest individuals who will ever exist in our world. If you like that episode, make sure you subscribe. Whether you're watching this show or listening to the show, make sure you subscribe. That way you get notified whenever we release full new episodes as well. And if you're on YouTube, smash that bell button. That way you get notified anytime we make a post over here on YouTube. Honk if you love butt drugs, and stay awesome.